Culture Roibh Galéir Arish ó Matt and Michael. Talbot's castle behind me in Trim is a fortified manor house, probably built in 1450, and it may have used part of St. Mary's Augustinian Abbey, which had been on the same site. It may even have been part of the Abbey's refectory or dining hall. The yellow steeple beside it was part of that abbey. This manor was the stately home of Sir John Talbot, who at that time was the Viceroy of Ireland, and that's why it's called Talbot's Castle. The Talbot coat of arms can be seen on the north wall. Talbot fought in the wars with France, and in 1429 he was defeated in Orleans by the French, who were led by Joan of Arc. In the early 18th century, Esther Johnson bought the manor for £65 sterling and lived there for 18 months. She was one of Jonathan Swift's female friends. He called her Stella. She later sold it to Swift, who at that time was the rector in Larracar, which is just outside Trim. In the 18th and 19th century, this building was the diocesan school, and both the future Duke of Wellington and the famous mathematician Rowan Hamilton studied here.
Dia is Muriv Galéir Cordia. Hello friends, I hope you're all very well today. Today's song can be described as a contemporary Scottish ballad written by Dougie MacLean in 1977. I first heard Caledonia being sung by my very good friend and namesake Matthew Gilston from the Celtic Tenors, and I thought I must put that on my bucket list. So today's the day, and I hope that you will also enjoy my version of Caledonia. I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me. In these last 2 days I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I've come from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. So let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I've moved and I've kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. And I've kissed the girls and left them crying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've travelled hard, sometimes with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. So let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I'm sitting here before the fire, the empty room, the forest choir. The flames have cooled, don't get any higher. They've withered, now they're gone. But I'm steady thinking, my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow. When hands have shaken, the kisses float, then I will disappear. So let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
Here's a poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson, which was very popular in textbooks in the past. Tennyson was obviously fascinated by the stories of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and he wrote much on that topic. He's a master of rhyme and rhythm, and this poem is a lively ballad. It's a long poem, so here is a slightly shortened version. The Lady of Shallott. On either side the river lie long fields of barley and of rye that clothe the wold and meet the sky, and through the field the road runs by to many-towered Camelot. And up and down the people go, gazing where the lilies blow round an island there below, the island of Shallott. Willows whiten, aspens quiver, little breezes dusk and shiver through the wave that runs forever by the island in the river flowing down to Camelot. 4 grey walls and 4 grey towers overlook a space of flowers, and the silent isle embowers the Lady of Shallott. There she weaves by night and day a magic web with colours gay. She has heard a whisper say a curse is on her if she stay to look down to Camelot. She knows not what the curse may be, and so she weaveth steadily, and little other care had she, the Lady of Shallott. And moving through a mirror clear that hangs before her all the year, shadows of the world appear. There she sees the highway near winding down to Camelot. There the river eddy whirls, and there the surly village churls, and the red coats of market girls pass onward from Shallott. But in her web she still delights to weave the mirror's magic sights, for often through the silent nights a funeral with plumes and lights and music went to Camelot. Or when the moon was overhead came 2 young lovers lately wed. I am half sick of shadows, said the Lady of Shallott. A bow shot from her bower eaves he rode between the barley sheaves. The sun came dazzling through the leaves and flamed upon the brazen greaves of bold Sir Lancelot. A Red Cross knight forever kneeled to a lady in his shield that sparkled on the yellow field beside remote Shallott. His broad clear brow in sunlight glowed, on burnished hooves his war horse trode, from underneath his helmet flowed his coal black curls as he rode down to Camelot. From the banks and from the river, he flashed into the crystal mirror. Ta-ra-la-ra by the river sang Sir Lancelot. She left the web, she left the loom, she made 3 paces through the room. She saw the water lily bloom, she saw the helmet and the plume. She looked down to Camelot. Out flew the web and floated wide. The mirror cracked from side to side. The curse is come upon me, cried the Lady of Shalott. In the stormy east wind straining, the pale yellow woods were waning, the broad stream in his banks complaining, heavily the low sky raining over towered Camelot. Down she came and found a boat beneath a willow left afloat, and round about the prow she wrote, the Lady of Shalott. And down the river's dim expanse, like some bold seer in a trance, seeing all his own mischance, with a glassy countenance did she look to Camelot. At the closing of the day she loosed the chain, and down she lay. The broad stream bore her far away, the Lady of Shalott. Lying robed in snowy white, that loosely flew to left and right, the leaves upon her falling light, through the noises of the night she floated down to Camelot. And as the boat head wound along, the willowy hills and fields among, they heard her singing her last song, the Lady of Shalott. Heard a carol, mournful, holy, chanted loudly, chanted lowly, till her blood was frozen slowly, and her eyes were dark and holy, turned to towered Camelot. For ere she reached upon the tide, the first house by the water side, singing in her song she died, the Lady of Shalott. Under tower and balcony, by garden wall and gallery, a gleaming shape she floated by, dead pale between the houses high, silent into Camelot. Out upon the wharfs they came, knight and burgher, lord and dame, and round the prow they read her name, the Lady of Shalott. Who is this, and what is here? And in the lighted palace near died the sound of royal cheer, and they crossed themselves in fear, all the knights of Camelot. But Lancelot mused a little space. He said, she has a lovely face. God in his mercy lent her grace, the Lady of Shalott.
Here is a song that is beautiful in its simplicity. It's simply beautiful. Normally sung by a lady. I've never sung it before, and this is a short version of it. But I hope you will like my version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream surely journey to come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away up the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
If you're a fighting man, come in for the Phoenix. There's a Phoenix here for you. If your home is grim, coffee or black, whenever you need an upgrade, there's a Phoenix on the left. If you fancy a refine of flavor to restore your strength and youth, from head to tail, my Phoenix must be satisfied you and satisfied love. Phoenix, Phoenix a beer for you. Come in for a Phoenix, there's a Phoenix here for you. If your home is grim, faulty or bad, whenever you need an upgrade, there's a Phoenix on the mat. If you fancy a refine of flavor to restore your strength and youth, from head to tail, my Phoenix must be satisfied you and satisfied us. Phoenix, Phoenix a beer for you.
When the children were young, we had the usual pets: guinea pigs, rabbits, budgies, tame, dependent creatures. As they died, they were mostly buried in the garden. This poem was written actually a long time ago, and it's a funny look at this, and also a wish that we had had more independent pets, more able to fend for themselves, like a weasel or a stoat, whatever the correct name is. Our garden is a graveyard, a charnel house of carrion, with every worn-out pet neatly planted in its plot. The fluffy, fleshy rabbit, the grovelling guinea pig, the playful, surplus kittens now forgotten in the soil, stashed on their demise, still compliant and docile. We should have kept a weasel, who'd scoff his tin of offal, but at night go on the prowl through the neighbourhood corrals for chinchillas and for gerbils, for hamsters, lizards, turtles and iguanas. When glutted, he'd return to his garden hut, eyes bright, white bib blood-stained. And at his dying time he'd disappear, lying in a thicket's dim asylum, rejecting trim gardens. We'll finish this week with a video of guitarist Pat Coldrick playing his beautiful Lament from his debut album Caledonia, which was released in 2010. It's a nice opportunity to remember all those who have passed away over the last difficult years. Until we see you next week, take care.